Pine Grove News Live. It is 6:02 p.m. here on the East Coast. I hope everyone's doing. Hey everyone, welcome. Blesses everyone. Let me turn this echo off. Anyway, so we are live. We're also live at YouTube, PNG Live, PGN. PGN Live at YouTube. That is my channel. I'll go check just to be sure. Should be live there, and we are. And this will all be recorded on Mixlr, show reels. If you want to listen to it later, it will also be up on YouTube when it's done, and on my website, 12pine.com, within the hour when we're done. So, how's everyone doing? Monday, that dreary day that we all look forward to after weekend off. Oh, well, I guess we're going to get a little bit snow again, starting tomorrow afternoon. In the afternoon, 3 o'clock, an hour after I go into work. Second shift tomorrow. 3 to 6 inches, and some sleet on top of that when it's done. Watchman. Other than that, not a lot of, really earth-shattering news. But, we're going to spend a little bit of time with Never a Straight Answer. I'm going to spend a little time on the NASA. A few headlines there that you should know about. It's not going to be your regular news. No, I guess. It's just not going to be in the correct order that we normally have. We'll see. There's a little bit of it, so I'm going to get started right away. Let's see. Let's go to end time headlines. Just remember, you remember, before I get started, remember that Elon Musk and his that car that he supposedly shot off on a rocket? Supposedly up there orbiting somewhere. Well, it's the anniversary of that particular event or non-event, and I don't think I picked it up. I didn't really care for it. I think it's all a big show. In any case, it may be coming back down too, if it was ever really up there. But in any case, I mean, we won't know because it's all going to burn up in the atmosphere, right? What those things do. So this historic storm hurls huge waves and 191 mile per hour winds at Hawaii. Yep. Rare snow hits Maui. Really? Yeah. Real, folks. So an extremely powerful, they talked about huge waves. I looked on the map because I didn't see anything in the weather, about this historic event. But I went over there, and this island right here, right in the middle of Honolulu and first big island there. But anyway, it's extremely powerful. What the storm is pulling away from Hawaii after unleashing damaging winds. Can you imagine 191 mile per hour winds? I can't. I mean, isn't that well and above any Cat 5 hurricane? Yeah, well, we've been warned of these straight line winds. If that was the case, I'm just saying that. Somebody else has said it. Yeah. And they pop up every now and then. So the storm, which the National Weather Service office in Honolulu described as historic, began pounding the islands Friday. Hawaii News Now reported a 66-year-old California man died in the rough surf of northwest Maui on Friday. Now, I don't know, I guess you got to be a little crazy, a little, senile. 66, I mean, now that I'm getting closer to that age, I mean, no, I don't think that I'm crazy or senile. Some other people may think that I am. You just being a Christian, I've got to be crazy, right? Yeah. So they're calling this an unprecedented event, and we concur that we rarely, if ever, have seen the combination of record high onshore waves coupled with gale force winds. Wow. So that's just an update. And what else we have here? From the Watchers, hailstorm destroys 150 homes, injures 40 people in 60 seconds in India. Well, that's a very populated country, first of all, and a lot of poor people. Heard a lot of stories about them, during their monsoons, during their heat waves, and I believe it was India. One of the poor people who actually came up with a handmade air conditioner. I don't know, it had something to do with cardboard and 1-liter bottles of empty soda that were made. The cones were kind of placed, in a certain way. Haven't heard anything more about that invention. I mean, handmade like that, and it, supposedly worked for them, cool them down. How it works, I have no idea. We can go, always Google it. It's got to be out there. I've seen it. This was February 10th. Fast-moving hailstorm, as many as 150, I don't know what you call that, puka homes, and injured around 40 people in Alvadipur village near Hindu floodplains of Greater Noida on February 7th. That was 4 days ago. I got to start checking this. I mean, it is, an unprecedented amount of anything coming down in 60 seconds. I mean, that is the real story right there. Who cares how old it is? This was on the 7th, apparently. 4 days ago. Would have probably been Friday. Yeah. So, in any case, these are the things that a lot of people experience all over the world, man. The weather, chaotic weather, right? Weather chaos. You all still listen to that other guy, 500 days of weather chaos, or 500 days until. Now, see, I didn't quite get that. Was it until weather chaos or 500 days of weather chaos? Well, it's been more than 500 days. In any case. And this is from the Express. Now, apparently, I've been informed that this Express is kind of like the National Enquirer, but it's a Britain paper. I don't know who that is. Still getting calls for health insurance, months after I've already gotten it. But anyway. So, yeah, it's kind of like the National Enquirer. That's what I was informed of today. So, anyways, and also we have NASA, Never a Straight Answer NASA, who have come out with pretty interesting stories here. So NASA warns apocalypse asteroid, Bennu. Now, we've heard about this Bennu before, so we know that, well, that's what they tell us, and other people have told us. Jet Propulsion Laboratory also confirms that. Bennu, big asteroid that they discovered in 1999, will appear in the sky this Valentine's Day. You know, it will be visible to the naked eye in the western night sky this Valentine's Day for, I guess, 8 p.m. in the western sky. Very interesting. So what's interesting is what they're planning on doing. They're planning on sending a rocket there. All right. Well, let's listen to this video. Yeah, I apologize. It's mostly it's a diameter of 500 meters. They're mainly just putting it in print, and the asteroid's flying by. So the mass is 78 billion kilograms. Anybody knows the equal formula for the U.S.? 1 in 2,700 chance of Bennu actually hitting the Earth in the future. Gotta turn this down. Wow. So it's about 2 minutes. We're gonna cut it short. Basically, what they're telling you in this video is they're sending a rocket. Or they already have. I'm trying to figure out the same one. Yeah, OSIRIS-REx. NASA launched a mission called OSIRIS-REx to investigate the rock in 2016. It takes 2 years to get there. So after traveling for 2 years and billions of kilometers. Anyways, they're going to do like what the Japanese claim they did anyway to another asteroid. They went and landed on an asteroid, took a sample, and then came back home with it. And there wasn't a lot of news about its return, so that's what it was supposed to do. And that's what we're doing to this Bennu. And there are other stories out there of a couple other asteroids coming and heading for us tomorrow, Tuesday. So hold on, we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, so now this doomsday, they're calling it a doomsday asteroid, which has a high probability of impacting the Earth in about 100 years. It says that it will appear to the right of the planet Mars. If it collided with our home planet, the rock would release 80,000 times more energy than the Hiroshima atomic bomb blast. Yeah, I just can't even imagine that. I have seen the Hiroshima and the Nagasaki bomb blast. They were pretty powerful. Powerful enough to take out 2 cities. 1 each. So Bennu is one of the most potentially hazardous asteroids in close proximity to the Earth. Yet it may shed light on the origins of life. And they're claiming that there is water on this asteroid, Bennu. They also, if you get the link, they show you in this link something that's very interesting, and that is all the near-Earth objects, NEOs, that are flying around our planet. Let's see if it's in this one or is it another one. It might be in the other one with those 2 that are getting ready to fly by. I'm just waiting to see if this is going to start, so I have to shut it down. It automatically starts. I hate when they do that. So, Valentine's Day, 8 p.m., right? Is that what we said? 8 p.m. in the West, Valentine's Day. Look for Bennu to the right of Mars. And this is the one, NASA Asteroid Tracker. 2 giant space rocks will skim the Earth tomorrow. Yeah, well, they'll never tell us, obviously. You got to go to the Jet Propulsion Laboratory website, and they have charts there and things that you can look at. They actually will list them, but you have to do the work. They will not come out and tell you over a loudspeaker, over an emergency broadcast, yeah, kiss your butts goodbye because this asteroid is going to hit us tomorrow. No, they won't say that. They will not. Also, going to try to deflect an asteroid. Yeah, they're going to ram this this probe. Going to call it a probe. Okay, they're just going to ram it into this meteorite and hopefully turn it out of its way. It's going to be a test. So I wish they could show that live. That would be something, wouldn't it? If it was true. So in here also there's a link and a little video. It's about 55 seconds, and this is the one that shows you all the near-Earth objects that are surrounding us. There are many. Okay, so if you go there, you read that the blue represents the near-Earth asteroids. Orange represents main belt asteroids. And, let's just play it for a second or two. Fast forward it. Come on. There we go. Now you can probably get this at the JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory website, or the NASA website can probably bring you to the JPL. And you can probably watch that there as well. Just look at all these things that are around us. So I'm just wondering if that's one of the things that are protecting us from other things coming into our atmosphere around in our solar system. I mean, I know we got the belt in between Mars and the next planet. Then we got one's the Kuiper belt, and then you got the asteroid belt. This thing.
My name is Patty Pop, and the CEO.
Yeah. So with that, let's go to this one. I don't want to go to that one yet, but go to Signs of the Last Days. This was a very interesting site that I went to. It's just a blog, and they got a headline up here: Worldwide disease outbreak causing emergencies and epidemics. Yeah, well, the Bible tells us that's one of the things in Matthew 24: pestilences, plagues, things like that. We've already had AIDS, still have, got cancer, and we got all these other little things. And the way it's going, most of these things that are coming out now are what do you call it? Antibiotic resistant. That's what that's what they're having a problem with right now. Having any kind of deterrent for these diseases. So the only one that I could tell you is you need to pray to God that these things don't come to you. And if you go to Psalms 91, it's definitely what it tells you there. Just go read Psalms 91. 10,000 will fall at your right hand. You'll see a lot of other people. You could see a lot of people die in front of you, but you will be protected. That's a promise from God. Go read Psalms 91. It's a beautiful chapter. Love it. I wish I could remember the whole thing. Starts out basically, you are covered by the Almighty God under His wings, and you are protected. And I'm holding to that promise. So this also from the Signs of the Last Times. And believe me, we're not done. I got some other news here also about the insects, okay, and where we stand with that. How much of a problem we're going to have because of that. So anyways, here, put this in order for a reason, but 286 Roman priests in Texas accused of child abuse. I mean, the story just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, when you hear about, child trafficking or human trafficking, you figure, oh, okay, yeah, so people get abducted and they do these awful things. You don't realize actually how big it is. It is worldwide, first of all. You should know that. Mostly done by people of power. I don't know about these Roman priests and the Catholic bishops and other priests. I mean, my Lord, what is going on with them? Obviously, it is not of God. Just my opinion, but I don't see how anything like that could be of God. 286 priests, and that's just in one headline. There have been many recordings of even the Pope being issued an arrest warrant. Of course, him and the Queen of England, and been found guilty, but they obviously can't be touched. So the move by Texas church leaders follows a shocking Pennsylvania report in August detailing 7 decades of child abuse, child sexual abuse by more than 300 predator priests. Furthermore, the Illinois Attorney General reported last month that at least 500 Catholic clergy in the state that had sexually abused children. In the months after the Pennsylvania report, about 50 dioceses and religious provinces have released the names of nearly 1,250 priests and others accused of abuse. Approximately 60% of them have died. About 30% or 30 other dioceses are investigating to or have promised to release names of credibly accused priests in the coming months. I never agreed with priests, even before I knew anything about any kind of religion. I was brought up Catholic. Well, actually, it was Protestant first, and then it was Catholic. Married into it. My mother married my stepfather, Catholic. I never understood why a priest would have to live his life alone, married to God. When specifically the Bible in Genesis made woman for man, the marriage and all this other stuff that we're learning now. That's just how wrong it is. Also, from the signs of the last days, it just gets worse and worse, people. Nuns used as sex slaves by priests and bishops, says Roman Pope. We are definitely a flawed race. Roman Pope Francis has publicly admitted that priests have used nuns as sexual slaves and may still be doing so, marking a new chapter in the sexual abuse crisis rocking the Roman Church. If you want to read more, go read it. I don't want to read anymore. Just beyond the scope of evil things that are going on out there. And it'll only get worse. We should know that and not be afraid of it, but be encouraged to know that these things must come before Jesus comes back. We just need to be strong enough. We need to lift each other up, and be that light for this darkness. That's what we need to be. I'm sorry, you can't do it alone. I've tried to do it alone. You can't do it. Okay, so this is from, it says VB at the top. I don't even know where it's from. But anyway, AI. We're going to talk about. President Trump will lay out U.S. AI plans in an executive order. Why he has to do it with an executive order. But according to several outlets briefed over the weekend on the White House plans, President Trump will today sign an executive order establishing a program, the American AI Initiative. That'll task federal agencies with devoting more resources to artificial intelligence research. I'm glad they put that in there. Please research it. Training and promotion. Let's please do the research first. They never do that, do they? They get a hold of something and they just exploit it until, it's too late. So it comes after President Trump promised investments in the cutting-edge industries of the future during the State of the Union speech last week. And after companies like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google called for guidelines governing the use of the development of AI technologies such as facial recognition. Yeah, well, they've already got that out there, people. I mean, your computers, Windows 10 has it, facial recognition. I don't know why I did it, but I did. I tried it out. Yep. And they also, obviously have fingerprinting everywhere. I got to do it, sign into a clock every day. Except the weekends, every weekday. Yep. I remember when it first came out in my bank. I immediately left that bank. But, I mean, is this, I do it with my left hand, actually. Okay, my index finger with the print. Somehow this, I don't know, it just feels like it's setting us all up. We're all going to be set up. They're going to do away with cashless. They're going to have the cashless system. They're going to have the beast system come in there. So, world religion, the Pope and the Imam of Iran we're talking about, and the New World Order, the beast system, where you will need some kind of implant in your right hand or your forehead in order to buy or sell things. It seems like it's very close. If something ever happens to this country's economy, which may happen sooner than you think. I mean, look, we're going to talk about the Democratic Party. And I hate politics, but you got to see what is going on with the Democratic Party. They're falling apart. These people that are so disillusioned or off, they're just off. We'll talk about that in a minute. But they're falling apart. Don't even know if there's going to be a Democratic Party after or for 2020. I mean, there's about 6 or 8 people now, I think it is. At least 6 to 8 people from the Democratic side who are saying they have their hats in the ring for the presidency in 2020. One, just a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, they had 0. You'll laugh at some of them. Other choices like Elizabeth Warren, Cherokee, non-Cherokee, Indian. So, and she only wants to destroy what Trump is doing for this country. That's what she said. World is seeing a catastrophic collapse of insects. We've heard about this before. It's not going away. The bees that they have of this picture right here of, and they just go on. We cannot do without insect. This whole ecosystem has a balance to it. Yes, some things have, gone extinct, died off, but there's a, like I said, there's a balance, and something else replaces it. Has nothing to do with evolution, but the balance is weighed, and God does not create chaos. There's a balance to everything He does. Everything that He has made, He is called good or very good. And so whatever these things and why these things are happening, He did say also, our Lord mentioned that He would take all these beasts of the field and other things away from us. He would also take them away. Well, nearly half of all the insect species worldwide are in a rapid decline, and a third could disappear altogether, according to a new study of the dire consequences for crop pollination and natural food chains. Well, now that Roundup and Monsanto's is kind of out of the way, um, they're too busy trying to pay off all the people they gave cancer to, or got some kind of Down's syndrome, or get some of those other things that are cause of these things. I mean, they did a huge study over quite a few decades, so that their data is sound. And Monsanto's wouldn't be getting sued like they're getting sued if it wasn't true either. So unless we change our way of producing food, insects as a whole will go down the path of extinction in a few decades. The recent decline in bugs that fly, crawl, burrow, and skitter across still water is part of a gathering mass extinction. Only the sixth in the last 500 million years. We are witnessing the largest extinction event on Earth since the late Permian and Cretaceous periods. And there's more talk about that. Let's go to here. Also from the Express. Apocalypse warning. Insect extinction could have serious threat to human survival. Yes, indeed, it can. Yep, so we just read that they are hurtling towards extinction. We don't like the bugs when they're flying around our face and in our food and everything else, but we do need bugs. We need them. Taking a lot of pictures when I see strange bugs that are, around, getting close-ups. They really, I can't imagine God's imagination, his creativity, his that license that he uses for everything. It's just, you ever take a look at these bugs really close up? Some of them I've never ever seen before. They're just alien. They look alien. Someday I'll put those pictures on my website. We'll go take a look at them. I've only got about 5 or 6 of them, but they're weird. So this from the News Punch. Stop bouncing around. Where mainstream fears to tread. All nuclear fuel has melted at the Fukushima, says TEPCO. And this is an update for you Fukushima followers. I don't know what that means. All the nuclear fuel has melted. What is it melted to? Last time I heard it was burrowing into the ground. It had melted through the grating in the floor. So Tokyo Electric Power Company, TEPCO, are claiming that almost all the fuel inside one of the Fukushima nuclear plant's reactors has melted. You remember there was 4 of them. 3 of them are not working, I believe. 2 of them exploded. Another one was, I guess, critically wounded. It's not operating properly, or maybe they fixed it. All I know is they're still dumping Fukushima water, nuclear water waste, into the ocean. So Tokyo Electric Power said the technology, which uses elementary particles called muon, M-U-O-N, to create X-ray style images, gave the most concrete evidence yet that the fuel had dropped to the bottom of number 1 reactor. The data, through largely expected, should help TEPCO as it continues its effort to decommission the plant 4 years after an earthquake and tsunami caused one of the worst nuclear meltdowns in living memory. Engineers have not been able to develop a machine to directly see the exact location of the molten fuel, hampered by extremely high levels of radiation in and around the reactors. Yeah, those readings were so high that even the machines that went in to test it did not function properly. It was so high. And while our previous analysis have already strongly suggested that fuel rods have melted down, the latest study provided further data that we like to regard as progress in our effort to determine the exact locations of the debris. To me, they still don't know where the stuff is, how far it's burrowed, it melted itself down into wherever. And when you're a little kid, your mother says, if you keep digging that hole, you're going to dig right to China. That's funny, because they actually have an application out there or two that, if you went and dug someplace, where it would come out. Of course, you would have to dig straight down in one line, but that was a fun application. The last month, the International Atomic Energy Agency said Japan had made significant progress in its cleanup efforts, but warned the situation remains very complex due to the growing amounts of contaminated water generated by the process. So, it's lost energy power to cool the reactors, which went into meltdown, contaminating the vast region of northern Japan. Folks, I don't know why they have this out there. It's a good update, but there's still scientists that are calling this a what do you call that? An extinction level event. ELE. Yeah, that was months ago, maybe even a year or two ago. They still don't seem to know where, all the nuclear fuel has melted at Fukushima, say TEPCO. They don't even know what the stuff is. They mention it in the same article. They don't even know the exact locations of some of the material. So how can they say it's melted? It's still one of the bigger problems that we have in today. Okay, so now we're going to get into talking about the demon side of politics, the Democrats. Yeah, so I am so tired of watching this lady and listening to her because the only thing she wants is to stay on her high plateau. And, I think she's still in plus $1 million from her campaign. But in any case, Democrats look at eliminating Cortez's district after 2020. Don't want her running again either. She's just come up with plans that have got, basically just really basically makes fun of the Democratic Party. And not just her, but there was a couple other ones. I got two other ones in this list that, but there's more of the Democratic Party that are just, they look just totally mad and unaware of anything but their own surroundings. But in any case, New York, state may withdraw their map to eliminate Alexandria Cortez's district after 2020 election. Now, I haven't read why they're actually going to do that, but I just want to thank them. Unless she moves. Maybe she'll move. Anyway, she's just, look at, there's just so many, yeah, I'm sure that somebody took a picture of me every other minute or so. They probably find some pretty weird looking facial election. I don't know what you call them. But let's go to this. This is the week. Republican Ilhan Omar. Been asked to apologize for her Twitter remarks, anti-Semitic remarks. So this one says that she has. Omar apologizes for the comments condemned as anti-Semitic. In a statement on Monday, Omar said that she is grateful for those who are educating me on the painful history of the anti-Semitic tropes She had responded to a tweet about House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy's support of Israel by writing, "It's all about the Benjamin's baby," suggesting donations from pro-Israel groups were influencing his views. Democrats in Congress condemned her remarks, with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, her own party, condemned that one, saying that Omar's use of anti-Semitic tropes and prejudicial accusations about Israel supporters is deeply offensive. This is the woman, right, that was sworn in using the Quran, right? That's how diverse America is now. No. Careful, because we start letting that happen. You know, Mr. Trump said that he's bringing God back. I remember him saying he's bringing God back. It might have even been in his speech. I'd have to look at it, but he did say that. I remember him saying it. Bringing him back. Well, if you're going to bring it back, you're going to have to get rid of the Quran. It's totally in opposition, 100%, to the Bible. And so here's the third one. Fairfax placed on leave by his law firm after rape allegations. Virginia's number 2 refuses calls by fellow Democrats to resign. Yeah, he's not going to resign. But he says, amid 2 separate sexual assault allegations, the law firm employing Virginia Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax has placed him on unpaid leave while it investigates. Lauren M. Nashishli, chairman of the Washington, D.C.-based Morrison Forrester, said in a statement that it has retained outside counsel to conduct an investigation on the allegations against Fairfax. During the investigation, Justin Fairfax has taken a leave of absence from the Morrison and Forrester. Justin has agreed to cooperate with the firm's investigation. I know it must be rampant, this sexual abuse. I know that there's a lot of untold stories out there. And I know that there's a lot of stories that are fabricated. It just wows me, I guess, is what I'm saying, is how much of this is coming to the open. I guess I'll have to refer to the Lord again, because he said, nothing that is covered will not be uncovered. Basically, obviously I worded it wrong, but he will reveal everything. And he already knows everything. It's already been unveiled to him anyway. He sees everything. Nothing is covered from him. You can't cover it from him. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how secret you think you're being. The Lord knows all. Everything. He doesn't check the list twice, okay? He doesn't do that crap. Excuse my language. No, you don't have to. He's the one and only all-powerful God Almighty. And don't limit him. You can't limit God. You do, I would think there's probably something wrong with you. You can limit your God. I mean, that's probably what Lucifer did, limited him. Thought he could be higher than him, and wanted to be because his mind just was ruined by that time, the pride, and that's why we came up with pride, pride come up before a fall, and he most definitely fell a long way, did he not? Elizabeth Warren, yep, she's another one that will be running, officially launches the presidential bid. I want you to hear what she says, because it really, nothing good about it. Maybe this is it.
We are here to take on a fight that will shape our lives our children's lives and our grandchildren's lives just as surely as the fight that began in these streets more than a century ago.
I don't know what fight.
Because the man in the White House.
What fight was that? I don't know what that fight was 100 years ago. Well, more than 100 years ago. Okay. Anyway, now she's going to speak about Trump.
The cause of what is broken. He is just the latest and most extreme symptom of what's gone wrong in America.
Oh, yeah. He is what's wrong with America. I don't think so, man. Please. I mean, this is why I don't know why I'm pulled into the politics at the moment. But these people, I guess it's to, I don't have to reveal anything about these people. They're revealing it themselves. I mean, most of these Democrats, they want socialism. That's what they're about. They want, their high seats on this, on this platform, and be paid humongous amounts of money. And not just their paychecks. They get other money as well. And do they have to share the wealth? Do they? If you know about socialism, I think it might even be 100% now that have failed. And so why can't these people see it? Well, I believe God has given them that delusion, for this particular time, for this particular, the hate and the unforgiveness and the vile iniquity that continues to go on with these people. The delusion that we, the people, when we vote these people in, that's another level of delusion. I mean, hope y'all can see that. And that only the Lord, in His timing, and we can always pray about it, He will answer our prayers in His timing and for His will. And we need, when we pray, to know that that's what's going to happen, not just our will. I mean, in any case, it's just, I thank the Lord anyways for discernment, to discern these things from these people. Just the words are so obvious. And this is British, okay? This is what could happen here. And I thought they were a little better, than that, but I guess they're not. The British police arrest a mother at home for using the wrong pronoun on Twitter. I mean, first of all, couple things really shocked me in this one is that they're in there monitoring people's tweets, okay? That's what shocks me. So they're being obviously watched. I mean, they're probably one of the bigger countries besides China that has all these cameras everywhere. So they're watching you all the time. They're not doing it secretly like here in the United States with your computers and your cell phones and all your smart devices, and then slowly telling you some things. They're actually arrested this woman for, we'll just read the first couple sentences. She was arrested in front of her 3 children during a police raid. They actually performed the raid. Now, this is getting ridiculous. On her home for using the wrong pronoun as a transgender person on Twitter. So Kate Sakau was thrown in jail for 7 hours after officials raided her home in Hertfordshire, UK, on suspicion of calling a male-born transgender a man online. This is getting out of control. It's already out of control. I've seen many episodes on YouTube where I don't know. You can't even, sometimes you can't tell. You know, well, I'm going to call her a man because it was a man, but trying to portray himself as a woman, went up to a counter in some shop with the teller there, or what do you call her? Clerk, teller. And that person addressed the man as a man, you know, sir. And he flipped out. He says, I'm not a sir, I'm a ma'am. And he started screaming and throwing things around. And now I hear about this. A woman arrested and thrown in jail in front of her 3 children, arrested, thrown in jail for 7 hours for calling a male-born, online, a man. Online. I mean, unless there was a picture there, you know, showing that it was a transgender or somewhere. It's funny because I get the word transgender now because they're in the middle. They're transitioning to another gender. That's what transgender means to me. I'm sure that's what it means, right? They're not quite there yet, but they're transitioning to another gender. It's just, it's sad, and it's pretty, I don't know, it just makes a lot of things, you know, come true as far as Bible prophecy. As far as the days of Noah are concerned, you know, things are just, you know, everything's out in the open now like this. And that'll get worse. So we've probably just seen the beginning. Well, we've had the beginning. This is probably just ramped up a little bit, but it'll get worse too. Getting arrested, okay, thrown in jail for 7 hours for using man for a man. It even sounds confusing, doesn't it? Wow. Anyways, that's all I'm going to talk about that one. Okay, and this one also from VB. Apple apparently files for a bizarre bald eagle 5G trademark. Weird stuff, man. There they are. On the American flag. Apple with an eagle on it. So anyway, whatever that means. In one of Apple's most unusual 5G developments to date, the company appears to have filed for a new 5G related trademark in the Netherlands. Apple Bald Eagle 5G, specifically listed as being used for mobile telecommunications network services in Benelux. Anyways, we're just going to go quickly with these. Archaeology discovery made that some may prove biblical account of flood of Noah. You know, okay, well, I remember this one now, and it's very, we've already seen the remnants, anyway, of this Tower of Babel. So we already knew that, I already knew that it was already basically proven. Account of the flood. And the account of the flood, I mean, a lot of, what do you call them? A lot of peoples, you know, have the account of the flood in their written history somewhere. So I thought there was a lot more that I had here, but I guess not. Yeah, this one is just basically, do you know what does Foo Fighter mean? Do you remember that story? I thought it was fake, but apparently there was video clips of it. These Foo Fighters is what the military called them in, what was it, 1944? Where, anyways, many people, yeah, besides the band, ex-Nirvana drummer Dave Grohl's rock band. But the term Foo Fighter was first coined by the U.S. Army Air Force in World War II as a term for strange phenomena sighted in the sky. In November 1944, pilots flying over Western Europe, and I thought it was in America, specifically the West Coast, but maybe I didn't read further on. But anyways, over Western Europe had spotted glowing objects flying quickly around the night sky, which were thought to be a new Nazi secret weapon. So these objects were dubbed Foo Fighters by a radar operator, Donald Mayers, who named them after a then current comic strip called Smokey Stover. Smokey was a fireman, or because I remember Smokey, on TV, commercials, something about forest fires and Smokey. That's what we had in America. So anyway, Smokey was a fireman or a Foo Fighter who traveled to incidents in his Foo-mobile. The term was in common uses by the 1930s, even showing up in a Daffy Duck cartoon. So he just goes on and talks about the band, and he never should have weighed that. So, yeah, actually, there were accounts of American pilots, I thought so, seeing glowing Foo fireballs as early as the summer of 1943 on a bombing run over industrial targets around Schweichenfurt, Germany, which resulted in a disastrous loss of American planes and crew. Survivors secretly spoke of these Foo fighters assisting the Nazi loose. I know the word too, loose waffle. Anyways, in their defensive attacks, did Hitler's experimental or extraterrestrial allies deploy these orb craft? Because that's funny they mentioned that, because there's a lot of stuff out there that say that the Nazis never lost the war. That the war, Germany didn't lose the war. They basically just decided it was planted an end to the hostilities, okay, and took all the scientists in that, I think it was called Operation Paperclip. They took most of the scientists, so on and so forth. That's how they actually finished making the first atomic bomb. They were already working on it. And so they're talking about all these Nazis, SS and all that actually escaped to Antarctica. And then you start getting into stuff that obviously is just folklore. You can't really prove it. There are some video, some pictures, but some of it just doesn't look real. It just looks fake, doctored. But then, I don't know. Who knows? Use your discernment for this stuff. Maybe it happened. Maybe it didn't. All I know is fallen angels can, if they can morph themselves and become human and plant seeds in women to create giants. And I've also heard of stories of Satan, in some oracle books out there, and specifically one in Jasher, I guess 6 or 10, where it talks about where he made himself into a roaring brook. And Abraham and Isaac, walked up to their chest or neck before they realized, well, there wasn't a brook here before. And then they realized it was Satan, and then the brook went away. So they can basically change themselves into whatever they want to be. So, that's how we get a lot of these sci-fi movies and episodes in Star Trek. If you look for that, what was it called? Deep Space Nine. That was kind of an offshoot of Star Trek, where one of the stars actually played an alien who could actually, well, they called him a changeling. I forget his actual name in the show, but he's called a changeling. He could change into just about anything. Anyways, I'll just leave that for you. So that's basically about it. I got this clip here for 12 minutes that I listened to from Fox News about the Democrats and Pelosi, and the House is collapsing. Democrats are, they're showing their true colors now. And Pelosi has not gone to the table yet. Their intention is for the government to be shut down again so that they can blame all this stuff on Trump. She will not even go to the table. Not yet, anyway. And we got till Friday. We got till the 15th. That's when the government shuts down, just before the weekend. And you know what, folks? If you don't hear of anything on Thursday about her going to the table, Friday, I would go take the majority of your money out. I'm not starting a big bank run and just facilitating the collapse of the whole, like I would have any say or pull in that stuff, right? But I would take my majority of my money out. I would. I don't know about paper money. I might take it out. And, I don't know. I heard, gold and silver, according to the Bible, is going to be worthless too. Okay? I don't know how, but that's what it says in the Bible, that it will be worthless. So that's what we have to go by. That's what I have to go by. I'm going to believe everything else that I've read, and I'm going to have to believe that. So with that, everyone, it's Monday. I'll be back Wednesday. In the meantime, just keep looking. Keep looking up. Keep your family close. Know where they are at all times, because any moment something could happen. And the best thing, that we're hoping for is that we are raptured out of here, or Jesus comes back and it's done. Nice to know where the family stands at that point. But anyway, be kind, love each other, forgive each other, and please don't be offensive if you can help it. Sometimes some people can't help it, but don't take offense either. It goes both ways. And I've learned both sides of it. And they can hurt. That two-edged sword that goes deep into the marrow. I believe that's what he's talking about there. Those words will hurt. So with that, everyone, God bless and peace out.